Welcome back to the John Trading channel. Bitcoin has been retesting this support area and looks like this is going to be your final time you can buy Bitcoin under this $30,000 level before we rocket to over $100,000 per Bitcoin. Plus, Ethereum is looking even more bullish than Bitcoin with these positive MACD histogram ticks and a retest of this trading range level. Make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video to find out everything about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Make sure you watch the entire video so you don't miss out on crucial parts that I'm going to tell you. If you haven't already, leave a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed and leave a comment if you're enjoying these daily crypto videos. Let's begin with some Bitcoin news. You can see this chart here is going back to this 2017 level and is showing that Bitcoin is currently in an uptrending channel. We're not in a sideways channel, we're in an uptrending channel, and right now we just retested the bottom end of this uptrending channel before now looking to retest the top of this uptrending channel at around this $150,000 per Bitcoin. This could literally be one of the final times you can buy Bitcoin under $30,000 before we get that massive rocket to around $150,000 per Bitcoin. What this chart is showing is we have a 5-wave pattern. First wave finished in 2017 to 2018. We then had the second down coming down to a number 2 in 2020, pushing up to wave 3 on the Elliott wave pattern in this 2021 bull run before we now came down to touch our number 4, looking for that massive final and big push to the upside. Plus, US Senator Elizabeth Warren said Bitcoin and crypto needs to shut down because it's funding the fentanyl trade. What did Bitcoin say? No, that is fiat, and it's a 100% true. Fiat currencies are the one funding these drug wars. It's not Bitcoin, because the true anonymity does not come from the blockchain. Every single blockchain transaction can be tracked back to its original source, whereas fiat money is the true evil in this world because none of it is tracked, and that's how a lot of this drug money is funding this fentanyl trade. Next, pay close attention to long-term Bitcoin. Bullish crosses like this one on the 2-week Ichimoku cloud. Why? Because this is once in a lifetime long signal coming right before this parabolic rally. It all makes sense in hindsight, but do you have the courage to trust it in real time? And that's really the truth about this. Do you want to be trusting these patterns before everyone else? That's where the true gains are going to come. Not when Bitcoin is at $60,000 and $70,000 already, and then you're looking to get in only really to look for a double of your money. Whereas when you can get in now, you can basically look for that 5 to 6x return. So what this 2-week Ichimoku cross is actually showing is you can see the red line is above the blue line, and then we get this crossover where the red line is the long-term Ichimoku, and we have the blue line, which is the short term. We're finally getting a blue short term to cross above the long term, which is finally showing, as you can see here, this has just happened in 2023. We got another one in 2020, right before that massive 2021 bull run. We also got one earlier in the bull run. Then coming back into 2016, we got a massive crossover here in 2016 before we had that massive 2017 bull run to the upside. We also had multiple back in 2013 and 2014 before we had that parabolic move to the upside. So what these boxes actually showing is when we get this cross and then a parabolic move is then likely like shown in this purple box. So we could basically place a purple box here showing that we should have a very high probability of going into this parabolic move. And lastly, blockchain gaming's growth will incentivize the shift from traditional gaming to decentralized alternatives that allow ownership of assets and transparency. So what we're actually looking at is, imagine when you were playing Fortnite. Imagine if all that time you spent in the game could actually be transferable into real life. Imagine all those skins that you were working so hard for, or even those limited edition skins that you purchased that were never available after that time period. They would have massive value in the market, exactly like Pokemon cards, where those people who were buying them in 1999 are making massive bank in 2023 because those cards are so rare and you cannot purchase them like that anymore. Before I go into the price of Bitcoin, make sure you've liked the video, make sure you're subscribed for future videos, and leave a comment if you're enjoying these daily crypto videos. Now on the price of Bitcoin, as I've been expecting, we're having a bit of a downturn in this trading range area. I've been explaining that this area through here was a strong resistance level. We got a big break above this resistance level, and this is now going to act as a support level. And you can see price is coming in and looking to potentially now move to the upside. I don't think this day is going to be a massively bearish day. I do believe that we do need to come through this area and have a retest of that support to resistance flip, because it happens every single time in the market. And I've been saying for multiple days that we weren't just going to continue to the upside from here. We had to retest this area before then making that bullish push to the upside. So you basically want to be buying low, not buying high. So in my opinion, I'm actually looking for trades, especially on the 4-hourly time frame, to time it perfectly and to be able to get in at these lower prices rather than waiting to already get to $32,000 and $35,000 for Bitcoin and then buy in. That's already 30 to 40% of the move already happened. I want to be in early. I don't want to be in late. The second reason we also haven't rocketed to the upside is you can see this exponential moving average in this area was to the downside, which shows that these trades had a high probability of having some downwards continued momentum. Whereas when you look back in this area, we had a really positive sloping EMA, and that meant that these areas were really good for buying opportunities because the probability was in that bullish favor. We're now looking to go sideways in this area, maybe slightly down, come back and retest this area. As you can see, the EMA is starting to go slightly up, potentially is going to go slightly down, slightly up, slightly down, and then before we then get that move to the upside. And that's what I was expecting in this area, at least a retest of this area here, because it's going to be that support and resistance flip. We all know that this is a really strong support level. All through this area, price has been supporting quite heavily. And right now, which area are we at? We're right in this support zone right here. So as much as price is coming down into this area, I don't believe it's going to be that massive bearish push, because you can just see what's happened in the past. In the past, we've continuously been supporting off this area, and that's what you need to expect in the future. Coming over to the 4-hourly chart for Bitcoin, through this area here, we can see we had this sideways trending EMA. Now through here, we had quite a downturn in the EMA. Through here, we had quite an upturn in the EMA. Now we're having a bit of a downturn in the EMA. I do believe that we're still in this trading range price action. People were selling high in these areas. People were buying low in these areas, and they were scalping. And that's potentially what's still happening today. People are selling high in these areas, looking to buy low in these areas, because you can see this EMA is still sort of in this sideways price action. As much as it's moving higher up and higher down right now, I don't believe that we're going to get this massive drop below until we get that confirmation. If we do get a break below these lows, then what I expect is this support area through here to then act as a resistance. We'll get a break down into this area here, then we'll come back, retest this area as a resistance before then making that continued move to the downside. So I really want to be watching price action and not just guessing and hoping of where I want price to go. I want to be looking at the chart, seeing what's happened in the past. People have been selling high and buying low, and that's potentially what's still happening in the market right now. If we're to scroll out to the weekly time frame, you can actually see that we're having this positive EMA slope, which means buying prices in these areas would be of higher probability than selling in these areas. And you can see, as I always speak about, we have this value zone between here. The value zone is the gap between these two positive trending EMAs. The orange one is the 20 EMA and the purple one is the 13 EMA. So this is the long-term and short-term EMA. And right in this area is a perfect opportunity to look for longs to the upside. And what area are we in right now? We're right in that valley area right now. So I'm not expecting to have major downturns just yet because we haven't been confirmed, especially with this positive trending exponential moving average. Now coming into Ethereum on the daily chart, it's actually looking even more bullish than Bitcoin. Through this area, we've nearly had a perfect retest of this trading range. This was the top end of the trading range. This was the bottom end of the trading range. And right now we're right in this valley area because the EMA has already ticked up. We're above the EMA. We're now retesting the EMA. You can even see we have a small little valley zone in between the short-term and medium-term exponential moving average, which gives me positive signal that we are going to continue to the upside. Through this area here, we've had really positive ticks to the MACD histogram, which shows that there is more buying pressure than selling pressure. In the last few days, we have had a small little downtick, which shows there's a little bit more selling pressure than there is buying pressure. But you can also see this lines up with some perfect confluence zones. We've got this trading range in this area. We've got this EMA retest. We've also got this resistance flip, which was initially resistant, broke out to the upside, and is now acting as a support level. And we're right in this area right now today. So we've got multiple confluence zones telling us that it's still looking bullish in the market, although we're having a little bit of a downturn over these last few days. But as I'm always saying, you want to be buying low and selling high. So these last few downturn days, it's actually a great opportunity to be entering in the market, and that's what I'm personally doing. Now looking at the 4-hourly time for Ethereum, again, this EMA was slightly trending sideways. We had slightly up, slightly down price action. through this area, we had a really strong resistance. Through this area, we had a really strong support, and we were just bouncing between these prices, known as trading range price action. People buying low, selling high, buying low, selling high, and scalping in the market, not holding for prolonged periods of time. So this little downturn in the market, a lot of people getting scared, but we're just retesting, as I've been explaining, this resistance level flip. Once the resistance gets this strong break above, price is going to come back, retest this area to confirm that it was that breakout zone. Once we get this confirmation in this area, we're then going to look for continued moves to the upside. This could truly be one of the final times you can buy Ethereum below this $2,000 level. So I'm not saying that you should be buying anything at all. This is not financial advice, but I know personally in the market how this trading range price action works, and I want to be looking to personally be buying low. So once we get this downturn in the market, once we've got confirmed this bullish up push, then I want to be buying in these areas because I don't want Ethereum to go over that $2,000 level, and then I'll be buying then. I want to be buying in these areas where I can already get a 10 to 15% gain before everybody else is buying. You want to be early into the market. You do not want to be late. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you leave a comment if you've been enjoying these daily crypto videos. I'll see you in tomorrow's video.